Hello, and welcome to the Pittsburgh City Council regular meeting of Tuesday, April 16th, 2019. My name is Louise Chris, and with us today is Logan Showalter, our sign language interpreter. The following is a list of legislation to be introduced by Pittsburgh City Council. Councilman R. Daniel Lavelle presents Bill 1582, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a grant agreement with the Office of State Fire Commissioner to receive a fiscal year 2019 fire company and emergency medical services grant in the amount of $13,569 and further providing for an agreement or agreements for the rescue training equipment for the Bureau of Fire. Councilman Corey O'Connor presents Bill 1583, resolution adopting a plan revision to the Pittsburgh's official sewage facility plan for 3 crossings 2.0 southeast at 2801 Railroad Street. Councilwoman Teresa Cale Smith presents Bill 1584, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works to execute relevant agreements and contracts to receive grant funding from the Pirates Charities Fields for Kids program to update Officer Eric Kelly Memorial Field, located in the 10th Ward, and further providing for an agreement, contracts, expenditures not to exceed $10,000 for the stated purpose. Additionally, the city will provide matching funds in the form of in-kind services valued at $10,000 offered by the City of Pittsburgh. Bill 1585, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works to execute relevant agreements and contracts to receive grant funding from the Pirates Charities Fields for Kids program to update Devlin Field, located in the 16th Ward, and to further providing for an agreement, contracts, and expenditures not to exceed $10,000 for the stated purpose. Additionally, the city will provide matching funds not to exceed $10,000 in order to receive said grant funding to be used for the same purpose. Additionally, the city will provide matching funds in the form of in-kind services valued at $10,000 offered by the City of Pittsburgh. Councilwoman Erica Strasburger presents Bill 1586, resolution amending Resolution 233 of 2019, which amended Resolution number 149 of 2015, which authorized the City of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements with eDoc Technologies for licensing services and maintenance and support services, to amend language in previous amendment as new projects, which increased the not to exceed amount by $79,760, are adding to existing scope of work and not adding services or signatories to the contract. Councilman Bruce A. Kraus presents Bill 1587. Communication from Brenda F. Pree, City Clerk, submitting the first, second, third, and fourth quarter travel reports for 2017 from various departments. Bill 1588, communication from Brenda F. Pree, City Clerk, submitting the first, second, third, and fourth quarter travel reports for 2018 from various city departments. This concludes the reading for today, Tuesday, April 16th, 2019. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this regular meeting of Pittsburgh City Council for today, Tuesday, April the 16th, 2019. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess, Mr. Coghill, Ms. Gross, Mrs. Harris, Mr. Lavelle, Mr. O'Connor, Mrs. Kell Smith, Ms. Strasburger, Mr. Kraus, President.
Here.
5 members present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? And we ask if you would then remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. We have no proclamations to be presented or read into the record this morning, and so we are going to go directly into public comment. Anyone wishing to speak before City Council this morning, of course, will have 3 minutes in which to do so. We ask that you would please begin by giving your name and the neighborhood in which you reside for our public record. When the green light comes on, it will indicate the start of your 3 minutes. When the yellow light comes on, you'll have 1 minute to summarize your thoughts. When the red light comes on, your time will have expired. I would like to take this opportunity to remind everyone that the rules of council are very clear in stating that comment is limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation which are or could come before this council. We do not permit profanity, and we will maintain order at all times. Good morning, Mr. Adams.
Good morning, members of council. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I thought I'd stop by this morning on my way out to do work with some children, and I had something I wanted to say to this body because I've been watching your legislation relating to guns and listening to the city of Pittsburgh and talking to citizens, which is what I do. I'm an urban and cultural researcher, and nobody cared to ask, but this is what I do as a professional skill set. We have come to you, we've shared information over the past 2 years relating to emergency planning, and it appears that the collective 9 of you, had I went down to Rivers Casino to bet, I'd have bet at least 2 of you would have wanted to hear the new and innovative information we have for this body, but all 9 of you over a 3-year period have rejected listening to empowering your constituents in emergency planning, specific emergency planning development. Tomorrow I will make a countywide announcement about that emergency planning development that you don't know about, and we're launching it in the next few weeks. And I'm sorry that you weren't privy to the information, but you're welcome to come to our classes, which will be starting in June. However, the legislation, Mr. Corey O'Connor stepped up, and you had no problem stepping over the Constitution. You said you didn't care, you're gonna move it. You also said that the plan was written by people outside the city of Pittsburgh, which I think is not applying critical thinking as a politician, but I watched you this morning put your little hands across your heart and say a pledge to what? As a veteran serving in 3 branches of our military service, I'm offended by this body because it seems that you don't understand what America's about, and this is why America's going through a transitional crisis right now, because she doesn't know who she is. And because of people like this body who choose to use the Constitution when it fits you or fits a special cause. It's not what America's about, and this is why 33% of our American citizens can't answer the question when I ask them, what does it mean to be an American? You know what I get? The same look I'm getting from all of you right now. It takes people who can't answer the question, and this is what's wrong with America. I got kids who are asking me questions about the decisions and the critical thinking that's not here. When I go across the country and I talk to other council members in cities, and they say, Mr. Adams, how come no one listens to you in your own hometown? What's the largest vulnerability to the city of Pittsburgh? You know what it is, council? It's the lack of a political debate. As your own President Obama warned you about those bubbles, the bubbles that say, I dress up for Halloween every day. This isn't for real. I don't know what I'm talking about, right, Mr. Lavelle? I'm just a loudmouth, gun-toting jerk. I'm gonna get a hat made out of that. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Because right now, council, you got to think about whether you're going to work with the constituents or be a threat to them.
Thanks,
And I'm
Mr.
not being
Adams.
personal. This is as professional as you can get.
Thanks, Mr.
We need
Adams.
you. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, Ms. Brown.
Good morning. My name is Yvonne F. Brown. And today, I'm going to speak about, I want to speak to the children. Because you know what? I am really disgusted because how quickly you forget. They found a black baby doll high up. Someone had to have some kind of machine or something to get it. You know, we black people, we can't even get a job on the construction, so not too many of us have a truck like that. We're in the city, a black man had a picture of Malcolm X. They said it was frightening. He had to take it down. But all of you seem to forget when they brought a black baby doll. You just hung. You don't care about us. Because you know what? That's frightening to us. To see a baby doll hung. Look at the pictures when they hung our black men with their tongue hanging out and the eyes all glazed. So why wouldn't we be afraid when we see a black baby doll with the neck hung with a rope? Then another thing, for the Jews, and I'm saying it because this was what a white man said to me. 5 of the Jews got killed. You put pictures of names out there. When 5 black people got killed in Wilkinsburg, the police would not even come. There's a picture with Dole beside the policeman, and the woman saying, "We're calling you. Why won't you come?" The detective gave a black man a card. He called him. He wouldn't answer. And when I called on KDKA, they hung up on me and say, "Oh, you talking about the city paper?" Because this Post-Gazette is so prejudiced. When Orla Lee Carroll died, they read a whole thing about her with a gun and all like that. But they didn't write about his wife. His wife grabbed the dog and hit someone. They let her go. He wrote the obituary about Orla Lee Carroll, and it was wrong. Don't write our obituaries. Whenever she dies, the newspaper woman, I'm gonna make sure you remember that she attacked someone and got the dog, and she didn't go to jail. I got this about Antoine. You was writing about in the paper how that they won because they wrote about the Jews. They just wrote paper day after day after day. You didn't write about the 5 people that died when the baby was killed too. You wrote about the mama, baby, daddy, all that. We're never above suspicion. When they made that boy cut his hair, you know this newspaper here, when the black people, women signed up, they signed up. They never allowed them to wear that hair.
Thank you,
That's
Ms.
why
Brown.
you don't see it.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Mr. President and members of council. Once again, my name is Jerry Murray. I'm a community activist in the East Liberty area. My issue today in my travels throughout the city of Pittsburgh is the homeless. I talk to them a lot. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, I know there are scammers out there that don't need the help. My question is to this body is, again, like I said about the youth last week, but where do we go with this issue? My solution to this body is there are a lot of homes here in the city of Pittsburgh that need rebuilding, need refurbishing. I know there are a lot of homeless people out there that have these skills. My solution is get them in there, get them the materials, let them fix these properties up to be lived in, and let them do that. I mean, because we have a problem here, and it's sad. It's sad that we as Pittsburghers who say love and not hate, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these homeless people I speak with say, you know what, nobody loves me. Nobody loves me. I look at people walk around, they say these people downtown walk by me in their suits and pretend that I'm not even there. I mean, talk to them. I mean, we as people need to get out there and say, you know, what can we do to help you with this problem? And get together, come up with a solution, and then take it into action. I thank you very much for your time this morning, and have a great day.
Thanks, Jerry. Thank you. Okay, next speaker, please.
Good morning, my name is Albert Lepore. I'm a veteran. I'm a heroin addict that survived 20 years of heroin. I'm now 3 years clean.
Albert,
And my only issue is opening the churches in the city. I know
Thanks.
that there's a lot of construction going on and things to make the city more popular, but all the people who believe, as myself in God, would like to praise the Lord once or twice during our day. And I ask you why we can't get into the churches in the city to praise our Lord. That's all I'm asking. I walk in the building on 5th Avenue. They got the one set of doors open. The second set of doors is locked. I had to go all the way to Oakland this morning just to give credence to my Lord, and which was a madhouse because I was on an overcrowded bus and whatnot. And if I had anything else planned, I would have been late. But open the churches so the people that believe in God will be able to go in there and praise Him. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, may we have our next speaker, please? Good morning, Dr. Miller.
Dr. Ronald N. Miller, Beltsuver and Homewood, Global Intelligence Society candidate for President 2020. The solicitor's number is 412-255-2015. A concern of counsel is to use honor, a favorite Krauss word, to separate buddies from baddies on addictions, elections, and water. Honor, integrity, I take to be integration of informational and intelligent ideational assertion with act iteration. A buddy is high on info-intel integration of ideas and actions, which usually means a consistency with his or her own ideas and yours too. A baddie is low on those and likely to oppose you. 1. Mr. Krauss, are you a chem addict? I am not. Caffeine in my coffee, wine with my meals, but never anything else. Are you a chem addict, baddie or buddy? Tu es un très merdieux. A buddy with honor is one that goes on and stays on. The Chem Anon program. A baddie, as you know, is one who goes off. Are you on or off? I have zero respect for chem addicts. And I don't think that chem addicts should be in U.S. elective office. Honor them not. I have infinite respect for non-addicts. Over time, honor them, proclaim them. No from them means no. Mr. Krauss, are you a buddy or baddie to Mr. Ken Wolf, District 3 competitor for the office you hold, 21 May primary election? I think you treat him as a baddie without honor. But why not honor him? 10 April 2019 was, I think, Bruce Krauss Day in the city of Pittsburgh. If you didn't notice, there were 5 proclamations by Mr. Krauss. Why not one for Mr. Wolf? Mr. Krauss, Is Ms. Harris, District 1, not your buddy? On 11 April 2019, you treated her, I think, as a baddie. You allowed the witless but not weightless Pittsburgh City police officer over there to stop Ms. Harris from talking to Dr. Domak post-interview for the PWSA. While you maniacally pounded the table, you were out of control. No honor. Yet you arrested the officer from interrupting you and Mr. O'Connor on the sidelines. Mr. Krause ne se croit pas de la merde.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Miller. Do we have anyone else wishing to speak before City Council this morning? Do we have any further speakers this morning? Okay, seeing no further speakers, we will go on to presentation of papers. Our first committee of the morning is our Committee on Finance and Law. Our chair is Councilman Burgess. Good morning, Councilman.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Coghill, our chair of Urban Recreation.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Gross, our chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Harris, our chair of Human Resources.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Harris presents Bill Number 1589, Resolution further amending and supplementing Resolution Number 855 by transferring $5,000 to the Brighton Heights Athletic Association. Bill Number 1590, Resolution further amending Resolution 549, providing for an agreement and/or contracts or existing contracts for the purchase of materials, supplies, equipment, and/or services for City Council Neighborhood Needs Program and providing for the payment of the cost thereof by transferring $5,000 to the Brighton Heights Athletic Association.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilman Lavelle, our chair of Public Safety Services.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Lavelle presents Bill Number 1582, Resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a grant agreement with the Office of State Fire Commissioner to receive a FY 2019 Fire Company and Emergency Medical Service Grant in the amount of $13,569, and further providing for an agreement for rescue training equipment for the Bureau of Fire.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilman O'Connor, our chair of Intergovernmental Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill Number 1583, Resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh official sewer facilities plan for 3 crossings 2.0 southeast at 2801 Railroad Street.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Kell Smith, our chair of Public Works Services. May I have Councilman O'Connor for Councilwoman Kell Smith? Thank you, Councilman.
Councilwoman Kell Smith presents Bill Number 1584, Resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to execute relevant agreements and contracts to receive grant funding from the Pirates Charities Fields for the Kids Program to update Diana Field, aka Officer Eric Kelly Memorial Field, located in the 10th ward of the city, and further providing for an agreement, contracts, and expenditures not to exceed $10,000 for this stated purpose. Additionally, the city will provide matching funds in the form of in-kind services valued at $10,000 offered by the city. Bill Number 1585, Resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to execute relevant agreement and contracts to receive grant funding from the Pirates Charities Field for the Kids Program to update Devlin Field, located in the 16th ward of the city, and further providing for an agreement, contracts, and expenditures not to exceed $10,000 for this stated purpose. Additionally, the city will provide matching funds not to exceed $10,000 in order to receive said grant funds to be used for the same purpose. Additionally, the city will provide matching funds in the form of in-kind services valued at $10,000 offered by the city.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Strasburger, our chair of Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management. Councilman O'Connor for Councilwoman Strasburger.
President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilwoman Strasburger presents Bill number 1586, resolution amending resolution number 233, which amended resolution number 149 of 2015, which authorizes the City of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement with EDOC Technologies for licensing services and maintenance and support services to amend language in previous amendment as new projects, which increased the not-to-exceed amount by $79,760, or adding to existing scope of work and not adding services or signatories to the contract.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The chair has 2 communications for travel reports. I'll need a motion to read, receive, and file, please. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Council President Kraus presents Bill number 1587, communication from Brenda F. Pree, City Clerk, submitting the first, second, third, and fourth quarter travel reports for 2017 from various city departments. Bill number 1588, communication from Brenda F. Pree, City Clerk, submitting the first, second, third, and fourth quarter travel reports for 2018 from various city departments.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. May I have a motion to read, receive, and file, please?
Moved. Second.
Second, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed, abstentions, motion passed, thank you. That takes us into unfinished business. We do have unfinished business for appointees that were interviewed last Wednesday morning. Madam Clerk? Thank you.
Bill number 1518, resolution appointing James R. Berry Jr. as a commissioner of the Shade Tree Commission of the City of Pittsburgh for a term to expire March 31st, 2021. Bill number 1519, resolution appointing Jamie R. Holloway as a commissioner of the Shade Tree Commission of the City for a term to expire March 31st, 2021. Bill number 1520, resolution appointing Brian J. Wolinek as a commissioner of the Shade Tree Commission of the City for a term to expire March 31st, 2021. Bill number 1536, resolution appointing Michael Domat as a member of the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority for a term to expire on March 31st. Mr. Domat will fill a seat that had been vacant.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Again, motion to approve in a second. Discussion with Councilwoman Harris.
Yes, the shade tree must have been done in 5 minutes because I didn't even see them when I came in at 25-2. I just want to say that I'll be voting on 518, who lives in Cranberry Township. I can't believe that we don't have anybody in the city of Pittsburgh that we couldn't put on there. And I'll abstain on 1519, and the other 2 I'll vote aye on. But I think when we look for people, we should be looking within the city. It's bad enough we have people out there that are living outside the city and nobody does anything about it, but others get fired. I just don't think we should be putting people on commissions that have to do with the city when they live in areas away from Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Councilwoman. So do I understand you correctly? You'll abstain on 1519, but vote the remainder. Is that correct?
And no on the first one, it lives in Cranberry Township.
So you're going to vote no on 1518, abstain on 1519, yes on 1520 and 1536.
Correct.
Okay, great. All in favor? Aye. And opposed and abstentions are so noted. Thank you very much. Those appointees are passed. Our next order of business then is reports of committee for final action. We will begin with Councilman Burgess, our Chair of Finance and Law. Present. Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Reverend Burgess presents Bill number 1579, report of the Committee on Finance and Law for April 10th, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1469, resolution authorizing the mayor and the city solicitor to enter into a professional services agreement with Fox Rothschild LLP in an amount not to exceed $110,000 for professional consulting and legal services in relation to False Claims Act litigation. Bill number 1491, resolution for issuing of a warrant for invoices totaling $4,092.23 in favor of the Apollonia Engineering related to evaluation of slope conditions. Bill number 1508, resolution authorizing the issuing of a warrant in favor of Gabriel Despres and his attorney in an amount not to exceed $77,500 in settlement of federal litigation. Bill number 1509, resolution authorizing the issuing of a warrant in the total sum of $95,000 payable as follows: $1,287 in favor of Allegheny County Central Tax Collection District, $37,485.20 in favor of the law offices of Joel Sansern, $56,227.80 in favor of Don DeFleece Jamakis in full and final settlement of a labor relations case.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of these bills under our Committee on Finance and Law. Do we have further discussion on any of the bills? Okay, seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bills will vote aye when the names are called. Those opposed will vote no. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
Ayes 7, no 0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The bills having received the legally required number of votes are finally passed. Our next committee is our Committee on Public Works Services. Our chair is Councilwoman Teresa Kill Smith. May I have Councilman O'Connor for Councilwoman Smith.
Mr. President?
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilwoman Kell Smith presents Bill number 1580, report of the Committee on Public Works for April 10, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1535, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to apply for grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources Community Conservation Partnerships Program to provide funding for renovation of the South Side Park. The grant proposal includes an ask of $400,000 with a local match of $400,000 that would be allocated in the 2020 City of Pittsburgh capital budget in the event the grant is awarded. This resolution provides for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $800,000 for this stated purpose.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of this bill under our Public Works Services Committee. Do we have further discussion on the bill? Okay, seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their names are called. Those opposed will vote no. And Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
Ayes 7, no 0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, has finally passed. Our final committee of the morning is our Committee on Land Use and Economic Development. Our chair is Councilwoman Deborah Gross.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill number 1581, report of the Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for April 10, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1532, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of city planning of the city to accept a grant from the Pennsylvania Museum and Historical Commission in the amount of $22,000. This grant will be used in conjunction with department funds to execute contracts for an architectural inventory of historic structures in the Oakland neighborhood of the city, not to exceed $44,000. Bill number 1534, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of City Planning to apply for grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources Community Conservation Partnerships Program to provide funding for the master park planning process for Hayes Woods. The grant proposal includes an ask of $100,000 with a local match of $100,000 to come out of the 2020 City of Pittsburgh capital budget. In the event the grant is awarded, this resolution provides for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $200,000 for this stated purpose.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of these bills under our Land Use and Economic Development Committee. Do we have further discussion on either of the bills? Okay, seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bills will vote aye when the names are called. Those opposed will vote no. And Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle. Mr. O'Connor. Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
Ayes 7, no 0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The bills then, having received the legally required number of votes, are finally passed. We move into motions and resolutions. The chair has several meeting announcements. This afternoon, beginning at 12 and again at 12:30, council will be briefed on Bill 1309 by the Department of Human Resources as it relates to the citywide time and attendance system. Also at 3 p.m. this afternoon, council will be engaged in executive session in our small conference room as it relates to legal matters that are before the council. Tomorrow, Wednesday, April 17th at 2 p.m., council will host a Cablecast post-agenda discussion on the state of food insecurity. Councilwoman Gross, I believe you're chairing that. Thank you. And then please note that council's Cablecast post-agenda discussion on the youth participatory budget for this afternoon has been rescheduled for Tuesday, May the 7th at 1:30 p.m. I also would like to note that the city is closed on Friday in observance of Good Friday. There will be no trash or refuse collection on Friday. Councilwoman?
Thank you. I know I'm on a roll with the post agendas, but I've been
Good.
talking to a lot of advocacy groups and partners about just an update on child care. We saw recently that the mayor created a program to move the $2 million that council put aside for child care several years ago. I've been talking with those groups and some others. So I'd like to also have a post agenda on an update on kind of the state of child care. We've had several reports in the last few years, but things are getting in motion, and I think it's a great time for a policy update. So I'd like to make a motion on child care programs in the city.
Great. May I have a second, please?
Sorry,
May I have a second?
Cablecast post agenda. I don't think I said that motion
Okay.
correctly. Thank you.
Second.
We have a second by the councilwoman. Do we have discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions. We'll work with the clerk and your office, Councilwoman, to schedule. Thank you. I cannot be there for the food insecurity.
Oh, that's too
I
sad.
would like nothing more than to be there. I have an appointment at a senior center at 2 o'clock tomorrow.
I know that you've been a wonderful supporter and helped in many budget years for us to get extra funding for the hunger groups especially.
Yeah, thanks, Councilwoman. So wish you all the best. Thank you. If nothing further from members, may I ask for a motion to excuse our absent members, approve our minutes, and adjourn our meeting?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.